let me pull up this story from CNN Business so we can have the last segment just be fun. From CNN, Walmart apologizes for selling Juneteenth ice cream. So they tried to make a woke ice cream, and the woke attacked them for it. Why are we worried about these people?
What does it taste like?
Yeah, so I don't know.
What do they say?
question.
They say great value.
My favorite.
That's
flavor.
why they got see. This is why they got mad.
Oh, the branding.
No, it's because everyone knows great value is like the bargain bin.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
So that's certainly why they're mad. Like, hey, well, we're not bargain bin. We want Ben and Jerry's.
That's
right.
When they do it, it's cool.
Yeah, it's the
There's no Juneteenth at Erewhon Market.
Oh,
So
what
what did they say? They said it was a red velvet flavored ice cream.
Okay.
What is red velvet?
Isn't that just like red vanilla, basically?
Right.
chocolate.
Yeah.
It's just like a lot of red dye in a vanilla cake or something with cream cheese on it.
Wait, but shouldn't it be like chocolate ice cream?
Oh, is it chocolate?
Juneteenth, yeah.
Right?
Chocolate.
Is that racist?
Velvet.
I don't know.
I don't know. There's melanin.
One critic on
There's
Twitter.
melanin in this cake.
Yeah.
One critic on Twitter
Good for
said
you.
highlighted why it's important to have diverse voices at the table when making strategic business decisions. When you don't, you end up making costly, foolish mistakes. Dude, this is the most tepid and like normal thing you can do to celebrate Juneteenth.
A holiday. Any holiday.
Right. They made a holiday themed ice cream. They do it all the time. We have Americone Dream with Stephen Colbert. And it's,
That's
it's
great, yeah.
yeah. And so I think what we actually see here is that no matter what you do, when you try to pander to these people, you'll never win.
Yeah.
No, you're just wasting your time.
It's kind of like when your enemy's making a mistake, don't stop them. But at the same time, if your enemy's making a mistake and the mistake is destroying your environment, then maybe you need to stop them.
We got to
Yeah,
fact check. Adrian Curry said red velvet is chocolate.
That's what I
Really?
thought. Yeah.
Right.
Okay, so then it is
Tasty.
works for Juneteenth.
Yeah, but it's red.
Spoon levels.
How
Definitely,
weird.
dude.
Maybe
Right.
that's why they got
Chocolate.
mad, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't know.
Buttermilk, eggs. Hey, who had an issue with this? Oh, this says vanilla and cocoa, so I guess we're all right.
Oh, it's
We're all
both.
Okay.
Unity.
Well, they shouldn't have put vanilla in it.
Oh, yeah.
buttery.
The gall.
They canceled it. That's
I don't wanna
crazy.
hate on it. Who
So
canceled
weird.
it? What?
They
Yeah, who-
apologize. Walmart.
And
Wait, so they're not
Yo,
selling
we
anymore?
We got to rush out and buy some.
Yeah, if
Yeah, I
anyone
want some.
has some, send
let's
it to the
go.
show.
Yeah.
I mean, I would love to
Be a
try some
collector's item.
Juneteenth.
Yeah.
I still have the old Aunt Jemima
Yeah, so
bottles.
do we.
With the
Yeah.
old Ben or the Ben old
Ben's.
Uncle Ben's rice. I have that from. We did a cancel culture on my show.
Dude, I
on
think it-
PragerU, had a whole thing.
I think it's funny how the woke people are only getting mad about the black people on branding. It's like Mr. Clean's fine.
Yeah.
Mrs. Butterworth's not even black, and they got rid of that.
did you guys ever
Yeah.
eat Bomb Pops? It's red, white,
Bomb
and blue.
Pops?
It's red, white, and blue.
Yeah,
That sounds
yeah.
racist.
No, it's a red, white, and blue. What do you call it? Like
America.
That sounds very American, though.
Yeah,
It's
it
not
does.
cream
A bomb pop?
Yeah, they call it-
sponsored by the Obama
Hey, look up
administration.
Bomb Pops, dude. I used to eat these when I was little. It's red, white, and blue, and they called it. It's like a bomb. Like how militaristic is our society? We used to eat these.
I feel like it's just like a
Bro,
4th of
we
July
had
thing.
we had
bombs. Like they were teaching me as a kid, drop bombs.
Yeah.
It's American of you.
bomb pop.
Yeah.
The
Oh,
ice cream
yeah.
the ice cream truck would pull up, and you'd get a bomb pop, and it was like
Explosively awesome.
What was it even made of?
Cherry, lime, and blue raspberry.
Food
No, it's
coloring.
water
Yeah.
and sugar.
Coal
Yeah.
tar.
Water and
Coal
sugar.
tar.
My
The
favorite.
ingredients are water, sugar, corn syrup, and high fructose corn syrup.
Ugh.
That's
Yeah.
what you're eating.
Times have
America.
changed.
I just love that it's red, white, and blue, and it's a bomb.
Yeah.
No, it's so ridiculous.
Exactly.
Great.
Yeah.
Dutch flag.
That's great.
Gaddafi
Yeah, yeah.
approves.
Isn't it right?
No, it's
Isn't
a Dutch
it
flag.
Like, it's a Dutch flag.
It's a
Oh,
Dutch
it is.
flag. It's not American. It's
Okay.
Dutch
No, it's
flag.
Russia.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah, it's
oh, yeah, it's
us.
It's
Russian.
Russian.
Yeah, yeah.
French, I think, actually.
Oh, okay. Well, we can fight over it.
French, Dutch,
Uses
French,
bombs to fight.
Russian.
I just think like you have this red, white, and blue. For Americans, it's obviously America, right? It's a bomb. That should be offensive to Americans because it's like, how dare you put bomb and America together as if to imply. But we think it's hilarious.
I think it's awesome.
I think it's
Yeah,
funny
it's
and
hilarious.
it's like, yeah, America does bomb a lot of kids.
Yeah.
So selling it, but like then the Juneteenth things happen. These people get mad about everything.
Oh,
Like
everything.
if somebody, you see it with Ben Shapiro all the time. They'll make fun of him and he laughs and he rolls with it. He's like, I don't care, dude. It's funny, I see people post memes about me and I think it's funny. These people just want to be angry all the time.
It gives their life meaning. If you have no meaning in your life, then of course you want to be angry.
I tried to listen to angry people. I was like, you know what? I feel like communication can overcome whatever we need to. So I'm like, I'll give it a chance. And you listen to them and like, okay, they're feeling better. And then then I get insulted by them. And I'm like, I can only handle so much. I only have so much time in the day. I don't want to waste 12 of my next, like at some point receiving the abuse is no longer tolerable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we had to build a rage room in the house. It's this small padded room.
Yeah.
Because Ian will get on Twitter and they start shaking. We're like, quick, get him to the room. And then we put him in. He's like,
I broke it.
Ava's going to need one of those after living with me for a little bit
boy.
longer.
there is
Welcome to America.
No Twitter needed.
Yeah, no
Just
Twitter
you.
needed. No, I mean, I deal with these angry people. I mean, I've done plenty of events, speaking events, where I'll have people. I did one at University of Northern Colorado, and they told me I had to wear a mask while I spoke. And I said, no, not wearing a mask while I speak. And I take the mask off as soon as I get up on stage, and these about 50 Black Lives Matter thugs come. They're flipping the tables. They're giving death threats to the people who are there. They're taking their mask off, telling me to put my mask on. And they're just threatening children. I mean, it's really terrible. It's angry people.
I am curious what their main complaint was with this Juneteenth thing, because I would think that this would be great, but they're all like, oh, you didn't have enough diverse
yeah,
voices.
no, they're like, oh no, we're winning the culture war and Walmart's supporting our ideology. Quick, we can't claim victimhood. Get rid of it.
Really?
Basically.
Oh, the revolution eats its own.
It does. It absolutely does.
I just looked up the Netherlands flag. Is it really that trippy? Is it the one where it looks like you're looking into like a burst of color, like red, white, and blue all flying past you?
No, it's just red, white, blue.
Oh,
Yeah.
Stripes.
Three stripes.
I got that one, but then I got
Yeah,
this
Dutch flag.
Oh,
What are
okay.
you getting?
So there's the Amsterdam flag, which is different than the Dutch flag.
There we go.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
That's the
that's
Dutch
the
one.
Dutch flag.
See, so
Straight
your
up.
what were they bomb pops?
Yeah.
Bomb.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
there you
Oh,
go.
you're
That's
right.
that.
That's
The
literally
color
that,
scheme is
yeah.
It's just
Interesting.
the Dutch
Maybe it
flag.
is Dutch. It's Dutch.
Are you gonna
Inquisition.
bomb us?
I don't know.
Is that
We saved you.
Oh,
Ah,
it's the
no,
French flag.
it's the French
Sorry,
flag.
everyone.
Oh, that's
See, because the
French.
French is red, white, then blue. So if the bomb pop was sideways, it would be France.
okay? So if it's flying this way, it's
If it's
Right.
sitting
Goes up.
upright, it's
solid.
Dutch. Yeah.
It's
Okay.
not the Russian flag because the Russian flag is white, blue, red.
That's right.
Yes.
Strong
No
order.
So
worries.
it's funny. Since Ava moved into my place, I put a big Dutch flag up in my place. But I was talking to her like people don't know flags very well, and I have a person who comes and watches my dog when I go out of town, and I'm worried that he's going to think I have this huge Russian flag in
his
my
problem.
place, talking about Ukraine and everything.
I went and got yogurt. We were out on a weekend and we all went to like a game store and then got yogurt. And there's like a chalkboard there, and it was just like chalk for anyone to draw. And people drew Ukrainian flags.
Oh, yeah.
And it was like right around the start of all this stuff. And I was just like, this is the stupidest thing ever. You have no idea what you're supporting.
No,
None.
no. As
It's
all
on the
them
trans flag
Nazis.
now, right? Or the
Yeah, the new
yeah.
trans-
so-
Is that,
Gay
wh-
flag.
what's
The gay
what's,
flag,
what's
yeah.
the source for that? I could not
Yeah, I
see
don't
I
know
don't know.
if
I've been
it's
seeing
real.
it everywhere on
I
Twitter.
think people were making that up.
Probably.
Well, it could definitely be real.
So
I think
I mean,
yeah, I could see
I wouldn't
pride-
put it past them.
No,
The
I
pride
Yeah.
flag has the trans triangle with the black and brown in it, and then the rainbow to represent folks, I think they call it. And now there's one going around with yellow and blue for Ukraine, but I've not seen any official leftist like account or organization use that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm looking forward to getting away from rectangular flags and starting new shapes.
Three-dimensional flags.
Yeah, stuff like that.
It's like, wait, is it a square or a rectangle? It's a square, run!
Attack.
It's a
Yeah,
cube.
attack. It's a cube, attack. Yeah, you're right. It's a cube. Is it a rhombus? That means you attack.
They probably just have rectangular flags because they flow better in the wind. Maybe they're easier to mass produce.
Yeah.
But I'm getting kind of tired of it. It's kind of boring. What to look at.
The next revolution.
That's the liberal, the leftist.
We're gonna
in
do
me,
big
the
TV
revolutionary.
screens instead of flags in the future.
Yeah.
It's like, why use a flag? Just put up a big TV.
Why do
Exactly.
we have flags?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess
With
if
an
the
Elon
power
Musk
goes out-
announcement.
Flags, it's obvious, so you knew if you were safe.
Yeah, but then
Like you're off in the middle of nowhere and you see a flag of your country, you know you can go there and you're safe.
the enemy could fly your flag. Well, that's what they call false
They
flags.
wouldn't because then, right. But if they did, they would get attacked by their people. Mm-hmm. So you had to be careful about it. Yeah. Plus, it's really, what's always weird to me is like rules of war, where it's like, if I have a white flag, I'm going to respect that. I'm like, why would anyone do that?
Mm-hmm.
But back in the day, it's like you flew a white flag, they'd be like, all right, come on in. Let's talk.
Yeah.
I guess because you want war to end, so you need to have some understanding. But that was
There's
always
still a
crazy to me.
lot of foul play in wars back then.
Oh,
too,
yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Back then.
Back
Yeah,
then.
yeah,
Now,
now.
I mean, this
Fortunately,
war in
now it's
Ukraine
honorable,
is
yeah.
just totally honorable and great. No problems whatsoever.
Accurate media coverage. Vietnam had some accurate media coverage. And
Oh,
that was the
yeah.
last time they realized we're not going to put reporters in the war anymore. We're going to give you a cookie cutter look at what's happening. Like the first Iraq war, apparently I had a friend in the war. They were like, yo, we would laugh at the media coverage of the tanks rolling down the desert. But like we were kicking in doors and mowing down families. It was just horrific.
The war propaganda for Ukraine is just to me it's laughable. You
It
go
is
on
laughable.
Reddit
Wild.
and it's just like, here's a Ukrainian soldier giving a warning to Russians, and it's like the camera's at a low angle pointed up at a guy and he's got a cigar and he's like, listen here, Russia. But he's saying it like Ukrainian and he's like, and he flicks the cigar and he's like, we're coming for you, and then all the comments are like, yeah, Slava Ukraine, and I'm like, come on, dude. It's just all propaganda, and they're like, I loved when they reported about Mariupol getting conquered by Russia, and they were like, cessation of hostilities. It's like, what does that mean? The fighting stopped. And why? Because Russia won. It's
Yeah.
like, okay, that's what we were trying to get to, right?
Yeah.
How do you guys think of yourself like on the balance of white pill and black pill? If you had to do a percentage scale.
Maybe a little bit. So again, as a Christian myself, baptized Christian about a year and a half ago, I mean, I'm definitely in. I understand that all of the things that are happening now are indicative of what human nature is. I mean, when you read scripture and understand, I mean, these things are kind of called out in a lot of ways of how people are going to act within the world. It's basically foretold, so many of the things. And I'm not one to say revelations or anything right now. That's not what I'm saying. But many of the ways that humans are acting right now is basically how humans are going to act. You will sin, you will go against your creator, all these kind of things. And so I see that as very natural. And so it's kind of white pilling to know that if you have the truth on your side, then even if 99% of the culture is against you, you know what is true. And that's white pilling to me. But then it's also black pilling in the sense like culture really sucks. And there's a lot of things that are going really terribly right now.
No,
So you have to get a
I've gone down
balance.
the rabbit hole a fair amount, especially during the COVID days. You know, the vaccine mandates and everything. It came real close in Europe, mandatory vaccinations. In Austria, it was really it was a matter of a month or so, and then suddenly they dropped it. And for me now to get to be here in the U.S., the only reason I'm here right now is because I was able to travel on an exemption ground. Otherwise, it wouldn't have been
You
possible.
you can't enter the U.S. unless you're vaccinated?
Yes,
No.
that's exactly it.
Wow.
Crazy.
Yeah, the other way around, same thing. So unvaccinated citizens, U.S. citizens can go to Europe, and unvaccinated European citizens can go to the U.S. So
Right
I was
now?
right now, and
People don't
nobody
know
talks
this.
about it.
People don't know this, and
How
it's
do you
terrible.
get how do you get an exemption?
Well, I got a government letter because I'm gonna do some humanitarian work. So the humanitarian exemption is one of them, but there are very few.
That's
And I'm a
weird.
lawyer, so I got this opportunity because I have the knowledge to do so. But other people, you know, I get messages from people every day who haven't seen their family and their friends in years because of these regulations, because of these restrictions. So and those are those are evil. Absolutely.
What about
100%
medical
evil.
exemptions?
The medical exemptions are very, very rare.
Very rare.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
It's
won't give
almost
them out to you.
non-existent.
Yeah,
I thought,
a lot of
they
doctors.
ended all this stuff.
No, well, not for the travel between.
No, I thought the travel stuff ended.
No,
Yeah,
no one
no.
knows this.
Wow.
No one
I mean,
knows
for me to
this.
come to Amsterdam to see her, I mean, the regulations in place, the things that we had to go through was just insane.
No, between America and Europe, it definitely didn't end. And in Europe, within Europe, a lot of it ended, but they're still working on the European digital identity. I don't know if you guys ever talk about any of that.
Not enough.
Well,
Not heard
I would
that.
I
Tell
would
me
love
about
to
it.
talk
Yeah.
to you about it. Yep.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Maybe we
so
can go deeper on the after show into that if we don't. What in a nutshell? What is it?
Oh, yeah. Well, the European Digital Identity Project is a project by the European Commission, which is basically to make basically a passport, a digital passport for every single person in Europe. So every single European citizen will have a digital app that, well, basically the digital COVID pass was the first stage of. So everyone in Europe had a digital Vax pass. I feel like a lot of Americans don't know that was used to give you access to like everyday things. So to go to restaurants, for example, you would need to get your app scanned to get into the restaurant. So, Vax Pass is the ones that you have, the paper ones that you can, you couldn't in Europe. So you were just excluded from society if you didn't have this pass.
There are many countries in Europe that have lifted entry requirements for vaccination.
Yes.
So the
now.
question is, once you get into the Schengen zone, are you then able to go to...
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so you can't fly into the Netherlands,
No.
but you can fly into Poland and then travel from there to the Netherlands.
No, because Poland is also in the Schengen zone. So no, you wouldn't be able to.
It says Poland, I just pulled up Schengen visa info. It says Poland has dropped entry requirements for travelers.
For Americans.
It says, it just says
It also depends on the risk of the
they
country that they're
permit
coming
restriction-free entry
Okay.
to all travelers.
Well, maybe
Yes.
they've done that now for a couple of countries then. That's
Yeah.
good.
You can
Well,
see Austria hasn't.
The Netherlands is not in there. So
Belgium
for
hasn't.
us not. Yeah, so then if you are in Europe, then you could go. But at least for my country, for example,
Because this
No.
is what I heard. Someone was telling me that they had to fly to like Poland and then take a train
okay.
because they wouldn't allow you to come in via plane.
Well, that's relatively new then.
Well,
Because there
whenever-
was an EU travel ban in force for basically the entire continent. I think this is probably the result of the fact that they've dropped a lot of restrictions also for Europeans.
Yeah, look at this. Sorry to interrupt you. In the Netherlands, it says travelers from third countries are still subject to the entry rules, but not if you're coming from the EU Schengen area.
Yeah.
Right.
That is insane.
See how arbitrary
Makes
all
no
this
sense.
is?
No sense.
Yes. Yeah.
Like
so-
someone from Germany is going to be safer than someone from New York.
No,
Like,
but
is
you
that-
can,
if that
you can
means
fly
anything.
to Germany and then come and they don't care.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Makes no sense.
Yeah.
But so I had to, well, but I mean, you still would have to get, for example, now, vaccinated travelers who go from Europe to America also still need to get tested. So,
Well, hold on there. We all know the southern border has no security,
No.
so
honestly, I think it would have been easier for me to go from Mexico into the U.S.
Yep.
than to get this exemption ground that I now have to go in a legal way. But I'm a lawyer; I need to go in a legal way, you know.
Yeah.
And this is all I can do all of these things, so that's great. But for other people who don't have the option, you know, that's just it's heartbreaking, and it's all arbitrary and it's evil. But yeah, the digital identity thing, that is really something you guys should look into because it's really, really scary. And that's a much bigger thing. That's not just going to include your vax status, but it's going to include biometrical data. It's going to include your taxes. It's going to include potentially even, you know, central bank digital currencies if it comes to that. So the European Union is incredibly focused on the digitalization of your everyday life. So basically your entire life will become an airport experience where you have to check in and check out if it's up to these people.
I was very shocked when I came to Europe and experienced that for the first time.
It's so scary. It's really scary. I feel like you guys should be really thankful that it's not as far yet here.
Yeah.
well,
It's getting there.
you know, we have guns.
Yeah.
Right. But this is I think we've talked about this a lot during the COVID times, you know, when we had the lockdowns and in Europe, in the Netherlands, it was crazy. We had curfews, we had the lockdowns, obviously we had the vax passes, which basically track you everywhere you go. So the government knows everything about you, whether you can go to restaurants or not. All these things were all dependent on whether you had this digital pass. And obviously, they are digital, they're QR codes, so they're protected against fraud. So
Yeah.
you're
Yep.
really screwed if you don't have them.
Was there
I
a
just-
corporation that built those, or was it the government that built them? Are you familiar?
It was the government that built them, and there was a European system as well. So they had the European digital COVID pass, which was exactly what they mentioned in the reports was sort of the beginning phase of this digital wallet that they're going to use for every single European citizen for much more than just your vax status.
So we're gonna go to super chats. I just want to give a shout out to Denmark, man. You've probably been there a lot, right?
That's the one country I haven't been to.
You've never
I've
been to
never
Denmark?
been to Denmark.
It's
I've
like
been to
right there,
Norway.
right?
I've been to Norway. I've been to Sweden. I've never been to Denmark,
I
but I
just-
would love to go.
I'm just, I'm reading these countries. I saw Denmark was on the list of like you can freely travel there, and it's weird. I've been to Copenhagen so many times, and Christiania. Have you ever traveled there?
Negative.
The free city of Christiania.
Oh, I've heard of that.
Sounds
Yeah, they like declared independence from Europe, and they're just kind of like no one pays taxes or something. It's crazy.
Amazing.
So you can
Communism
go there.
works.
It says now leaving the EU. I mean, there's businesses in there. I went and got a hot dog.
Yeah.
It was cool. There's a great burger place in Copenhagen. I loved going there. That was fun.
Have you been to Amsterdam?
Yes, I have.
Okay.
Yeah.
What
yeah,
do
that
you
was
think
fun
of
too.
it?
A lot of bikes. A lot of bikes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Too many.
I was only there for like
Too
a
many
couple
bikes.
days though.
Did you take mushrooms?
No, I went
Do
to
you think you will next time?
No, I don't think so.
What's up?
I went to a conference and talked about the news. And then everybody was riding bikes everywhere. It was funny.
Yeah.
It's like the bikes have like more rights than cars.
I know.
Yeah.
First time I rode a
You have
bike in
entire
Amsterdam.
streets just for bikes.
Yeah.
I crashed on the bike.
Well,
man.
What happened?
First time. Well, I thought it would be like an American mountain bike, and I get on this bike, this Amsterdam Dutch bike,
On a Dutch.
and I thought I was going to really impress Eva.
Oh, no.
And I ran into a Range Rover.
Humbling.
Yeah,
Oh, man.
very humbling, which I needed.
It's all
So
good.
it was good.
Thanks for checking out this segment from the Timcast IRL podcast. But if you want to check out the full show live, tune in Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. And if you want more special access content, head over to timcast.com and become a member. Your membership helps sustain this company, keep our journalists employed, makes this show happen, and you will get access to exclusive members-only segments of the Timcast IRL podcast, and there's a massive library to check out. So again, go to timcast.com or tune in Monday through Friday at 8 p.m., and we'll see you all there.